So now we see the last topic of the chapter, the study of inorganic compounds, and that is sulfuric acid. So what is sulfuric acid? Sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Okay, if you see, this is the most widely used acid. We have seen preparations of hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, and sulfuric acid is required for the preparations of these acids. It is widely used. It has a wide usage in industry, and hence it is called as the king of all chemicals. We need to remember this. Which acid is called the king of elements, or which compound is the king of elements, and that is sulfuric acid. So it is king of chemicals. It's a non-volatile acid. It's a strong acid. What do we mean by a strong acid? A strong acid means it is going to undergo complete dissociation. It will undergo complete dissociation. And it is a dibasic acid. What do we mean by dibasic acid? One molecule of H2SO4 will give us possibly two hydronium ions. So from one molecule of H2SO4 we can get two hydronium ions, and that's why it's a dibasic acid. And what's a non-volatile acid? It does not fume. It does not evaporate on its own, so it is non-volatile acid. So let's see the dilute nature, or what is the acidic behavior of dilute sulfuric acid. So it's an acid. Naturally, if it is going to react with a base, it is going to give us salt and water. So in the dilute acid, that is dilute sulfuric acid with NaOH, gives us sodium sulfate, which is a salt and water. So this is nothing but a neutralization reaction. Dilute acids react with metals to release hydrogen gas. So we see that when metals react with sulfuric acid, which is dilute sulfuric acid, it releases hydrogen gas. So whether it is magnesium, zinc or iron, when it reacts with dilute sulfuric acid, what we get is the corresponding sulfate salts and hydrogen gases, released. Now let's see its reaction with metallic oxides. So with magnesium oxide or with copper oxide, how does it react? It reacts to give us again corresponding sulfates. With magnesium oxide it gives us magnesium sulfate, and with copper oxide it gives us copper sulfate. And water is also formed, in this reaction. So with the metallic oxide, it gives us the corresponding sulfate salt and water. Now its acidic behavior, as we already discussed before, it reacts with bases. It reacts with various bases to give us salt and water, So it is acidic in nature, and hence it will react with base to give you salt and water. Next, it is also an oxidizing agent. Now sulfuric acid, if you see, it has 4 atoms of oxygen. Sulfuric acid has 4 atoms of oxygen. So naturally it can provide oxygen. So when it is going to provide oxygen to carbon, when it reacts with carbon, or it will give it to sulfur when it reacts with sulfur. And hence what we get, the products, they are, when it reacts with carbon, we get carbon dioxide, and when it reacts with sulfur, we get sulfur dioxide. So we get the corresponding oxides of these non-metals. These reactions are very important from examination point of view. Next, we see the dehydrating nature of sulfuric acid. What is the meaning of dehydration? Dehydration means removal of water. So it reacts with glucose, sucrose or any sugars to completely remove the water molecules from it. If we know the formula of sugar, that is C6H12O6. So it will completely remove the hydrogen and oxygen atoms in the number of water molecules that it can form, and we will be left only with carbon. This is what we can see on the screen here. If we take some sugar and add concentrated sulfuric acid to it, we are left with the black spongy mass, which is nothing but carbon. So let's see the reactions. This reaction is for sucrose. So sucrose reacts with sulfuric acid. It reacts with sulfuric acid to give us carbon. And in case of a hot dilute sulfuric acid, in case if it is reacting with hot but dilute sulfuric acid, it can also break down to give glucose and fructose. But this reaction is a more important reaction from your exam point of view, where it shows its total dehydrating nature. Next, sulfuric acid is a non-volatile acid, and hence what is the non-volatile acid famous for, or what is it known for? A non-volatile acid is known to make a volatile acid. So we can prepare a volatile acid like HCl or HNO3, as we have seen in our previous parts of the chapter, previous topics of this chapter. So in both the cases we have used sulfuric acid. We have used sulfuric acid to react with a corresponding salt, to react with a salt that can generate the corresponding acid. So for hydrochloric acid, naturally we have to start with sodium chloride. We need some kind of a chloride. Preferred one is sodium chloride. And to prepare nitric acid, any nitrate, the most preferred nitrate here is potassium nitrate, is used to prepare the nitric acid. Now let's see some tests for sulfuric acid. Copper sulfate. So when sulfuric acid reacts with crystals of copper sulfate, it gives us white anhydrous copper sulfate. So it decolorizes the blue colored copper sulfate to give us white anhydrous copper sulfate. With sodium nitrate, it liberates brown vapors. It liberates brown vapors when heated with sodium nitrate. So sodium nitrate is NaNO3. NO3 will give out NO2, which is brown in color. Test for sulfuric acid with barium chloride. With barium chloride, it gives a white precipitate of barium sulfate. And this precipitate is insoluble in dilute HCl or dilute HNO3. So this is an insoluble precipitate that we get from barium chloride. Next is a test with lead nitrate. With lead nitrate also it gives a white precipitate, and this precipitate is also insoluble in dilute HCl and dilute HNO3. Let's see the uses of sulfuric acid. It is widely used in preparation of detergents, paints and pigments, artificial fibers like rayon, paper, plastics. It's used in explosives, pesticides, dyes, in batteries. And the major use of it, what we see apart from explosives, is it's used in preparing of fertilizers. So these are the various uses of sulfuric acid. So before we recap what we have seen today, I would like to state that the contact process, which is the large scale process for preparation of sulfuric acid, has been reduced from your syllabus for this year. Okay, so let's summarize what we have seen today, and that is, we have seen the acidic behavior of sulfuric acid. We have seen its behavior as an oxidizing agent, as a dehydrating agent, its non-volatile nature. We have seen various tests for sulfuric acid and its uses. So with this, we come to the end of this chapter, study of some inorganic compounds. I hope that these topics are clear to you. Thank you.